ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
So I would like to thank the leadership of the UAE for giving us the space to be innovative, to be creative, and to keep giving the best.
Welcome, dear audience, to your favorite program, Pearls of Union, which shed light and focus on the remarkable journeys of the inspiring individuals here inside the UAE. And today, from Dubai, we are highlighting and shedding the light on a new successful story with Miss Mira Al-Ghaziri, the Managing Director of HealthyPath. Let me start the episode by welcoming our guest for today, Miss Mira. Hello, Miss.
Hello, Ala.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Miss, at first, can you tell us about yourself, your background, to introduce you to all the audience?
So I'm Mira. I'm from Lebanon. I moved I moved to the UAE in 2012. My background, it's all about like nutrition. So I studied nutrition because I was always passionate about nutrition and health. So I did my studies in nutrition, and then I moved to study abroad, also nutrition. And at some point, I saw an opportunity to come to the UAE. Yes. And this is where after working in the research, I moved into the private sector, working in the food industry, supporting on the nutrition agenda, and this is where I started developing my career, and this is where everything started.
So can you tell us about the challenges you face at the beginning of your career journey?
So just to go back, so yes, this is where I started my career in nutrition and health, and I worked with the food industry, supporting them on how we can create healthier food environment. How can we drive better food choices in the supermarket so that anyone can go there and feel like, okay, this is a better choice. So this is where I've been working with different multinational food companies for like 10 years in the UAE. And at some point I felt I need to reshape what I'm doing and even accelerate my knowledge beyond just that area. So I've done also another degree in global health policy, where I gained more understanding of the health policies, what shapes policies globally, in the region, why we have the current health situation right now, and how can we change it. So I've studied that, and this is where also I felt like I have something to say, and this is where I opened my consultancy business, HealthyPath, which is the nutrition policy and food sustainability consultancy. And this company is all about how can we give better food environment for people, so that they get healthier, but also they get sustainable. So I work a lot in the nexus or the linkage between health and food environmental and food sustainability. And I've been running the business for the past 3 years.
But now, Miss, can you tell us about the inspiring individuals that helped you achieve some of the challenges?
Yes, of course. Like anything in life, you know, when we start, there's so many challenges. You know, especially when you need so much mentorship and advice on that. So I think of course, my mother has always been the most inspiring one, because she always put things into perspective. So whenever I used to feel so stressed or feel like maybe I did not get the right opportunity or the job, or I didn't feel like I did enough in certain projects, she would always be the one, up until now, to put things into perspective, into context, like what is that event, what is this initiative in the whole sum of the universe, and then, like the whole sum of your world. So for me, my mom was always the most inspiring person, you know, not just like on a personal level, but also professionally. Whenever I feel like I'm facing a lot of challenges, she'll be the one who would like pacify me a little bit and put things, as I said, into perspective.
May God bless her.
Thank you. But also, I mean, I had also mentors who helped me shape my career. I mean, if I want to look at maybe the initial challenges I faced in my career, yes, I would say when I started, you know, because I come from very scientific and technical background. Right. So I have a degree in nutrition and global health policy. So it can be technical. Right. So one of the things that I used to always maybe do or, you know, struggle with when I started was I would look too much into the technical aspect of things without having a broad understanding of the context, right, and who's shaping it and why this is important. So one of the things that even at some point of time in my initial work jobs, I had that manager, which to be honest, I didn't really like, but she used to always, it helped me. So we didn't have very good, strong relationship. However, she felt like, you know, one of the things I used to do is I used to get so much zoom into the project without understanding, okay, will that result in positive outcome? Is it needed? Yeah. Do I need to look at something different? And I remember she gave me a book called Think Out of the Box. That was one of my initial steps. Okay, at the beginning it was like a slap in the face. It was very strong. But I think this made me learn that, you know, in anything in life, that was obviously at my first years of work, you know, in anything in life, you need to you look at things, you know, in a perspective, you know, and deep on it, yes, and not to get too confused or busy in the little details, because sometimes that doesn't really matter. What's more important is, you know, it's like the whole big picture. Right. So yeah, that was one of I would say, the early challenges in my career.
So Miss, now we need to focus more on HealthyPath. So every successful venture starts with a strong foundation and a clear vision. So how was this foundation founded and what vision led to its establishment?
My background obviously has always been very health oriented. Mm-hmm. So I always look at things from perspective of, is it good for people's health? And I worked initially in the research part, academic, research assistant, but then I moved to private sector, so the food industry. Sure. And if you work in academic, you see things black and white, you know? So you see things like, okay, no, what the food industry is doing is really bad. And when you go to the food industry sector, it's a gray zone. Not everything can be white or black. Sometimes things are a bit blurry. So I changed a bit my perspective, and I felt there's a gap to have someone who understands the science and the background, and you know why we need to drive more sustainability agenda, more health agenda, and at the same time in the private sector you're very focused on the commercial side. So I thought there's an opportunity to marry both the science and really, yes, you know, what's aligned with the academia, but also the governmental priorities, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Climate Change, while marrying it with understanding the complexities of the food industry sector. It's not always easy to do certain things. And I think this is what I wanted to bring as part of HealthyPath, is really bring the science, the anchoring it in like evidence-based, but also looking into the practical matter. You know, how can we really change the food system? How can we drive a healthier food environment, more sustainable food environment? Take into consideration the case studies, the learnings, the evidence, the science, while also understanding the complexities of the matter and to move to something that is sustainable. And this is where HealthyPath really came into place.
So, Ms. Success and expansion require well-planned strategies. So, what are the future plans of your company, and are you planning to enter into new markets, especially in the UAE?
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, the UAE is the birthplace of HealthyPath, and I'm really, for me, this means a lot. That I don't think I would have ever thought of being entrepreneur being in another country, and I really mean it. Like, especially when you are coming from a very scientific background, the business world is something too far from you. But I think the system really pushed me to do that. So obviously UAE is the main market. This is where I have the key projects, the clients, but at the same time in the sector that I operate in, which is ensuring a more sustainable and nutritious food environment. Yes. And the challenges that we have, this is not only challenges facing the UAE, it's really across the GCC region. They all have, if you look at even the national nutrition strategy of each of the GCC countries, they're all in a way similar. They all want to reduce obesity, they want to improve the food environment. And since I also work on the nexus of nutrition and environment, food security, also when it comes to food security, food security is a common challenge, not only for the UAE, as for the GCC region, you know, how to produce food, how to ensure it's sustainable, how to ensure it's nutritious. Yes. So that's why the services that we provide as HealthyPath are not just focused on the UAE market. And we already have several projects in the rest of GCC market where we do work on addressing some of these things and looking at what could be the policies needed to drive a healthier and more sustainable food environment by working both with the government or the public sector, but also working with the food industry and the retailer to see how we can help them, yes, give them the right guidance, right advisory, so that they innovate for healthier food environment.
Can you mention some of the countries you work with other than UAE?
So we work, yes, we work mainly as a second market with Qatar as well. So this is like the second GCC market where we have several other projects. And I just came actually 4 days ago from Qatar.
So what are now the key accomplishments and the key achievements you are most proud of at your company?
Yeah, that's really hard to straight away think of. But I would say, for me, if I think of what we've done for the past 3 years, one key achievement is we've been able to create an ecosystem where we're connected between two spheres, the nutrition sphere and the environmental sphere. Yes. And this is something not usually done. So usually when someone works in the environmental sustainability, this is it. He's very disconnected from the world of health. And if someone who's working in the sphere of health is not even aware of what's happening on the other side. So what we've been able to achieve is we've been driving different dialogues and discussions and forums where we've been able to bring both entities together. Environmental sector, especially when it comes to food security, and also the nutrition sector. And we've driven, by partnering with some key governmental entities here, we drove a series of national food security dialogues where we related to how to drive sustainable food consumption pattern. And we were able to bring key entities, food industry, but also government, but also academia, research. They are critical to be part of that solution. And we were able to bring, as I said, entities from both health sector and environment to really see what are the challenges to drive healthy, sustainable food, and what could be the opportunities to work on that. So this is really in terms of creating a platform where we have that discussion. The second one I think as HealthyPath, I'm proud of is we've been able to work with one of the key retailer players in the region to come up with some sort of a framework that helps consumer know what are healthier food choices. So we set sort of a framework or a model where not a single food is considered bad. No, it depends on what are the nutritional. Is it also based on the local food sourcing? Is it based on made in the UAE? So we created some sort of a framework where we give a scoring system to every single food that you see in the market, and that can basically, we give the scoring based on supporting the UAE production, but also it's based on health. And that's something I think it's very important, because at the end of the day, everything we do, yes, we are B2B business, but at the end of the day, we want the consumer at the end to be the ultimate beneficiary of that. So we want to help him make a better informed decision on what is healthy and sustainable food. And that's what we worked with one of the biggest retailer here to help define and simplify life to consumers so that they know what is a healthier and sustainable food choice.
So now we talk about the most key achievements, the most key accomplishments you are most proud of. So now we need you to tell us about how your company differentiates itself from competitors in the region.
So I would say one of the biggest differentiating point is we understand both sectors, nutrition and health, and the food security aspect, and we marry both together. That's something that is not that is really differentiate us from the rest of the competitors. And we have a very our strength also is in the strength in the science and the policy. So we bring a lot of expertise in health policy to understand the global health policy and the implication on the region and vice versa, while also providing an understanding of understanding of the ecosystem building, where we believe a lot in public-private partnership. So we always, in most of our initiatives, which we always try to bring food industry, private sector, government, and also academia. What we call it tripartite collaboration. And I feel like this is always a missed opportunity to bring academia. You always find either government and private sector or just private sector alone, but there's always a missing element of academia who usually brings data, evidence-based data that can help inform decision-making process, all of that. So for yes, as if I want to summarize it, it's really about bringing alliance between both sectors, and also being able to fuel or be the catalyst for bringing public-private collaboration together, understanding both challenges and seeing how can we get to a point that is a win-win for both.
And how has the UAE environment, the UAE ecosystem healthcare supported by the growth, by the achievements, by the succeed for your company?
The UAE ecosystem has been phenomenal, and the UAE itself as a country has been, it's what made me today and shaped me for the past 13 years and made me, purchase my ambition, which is to have my own consultancy company. And this is because of the enabling ecosystem they create. They really make it, they really come up with a different initiative to make it as simple and easy for startups to be able to flourish here and really bring their business from idea to really concrete action. And here I have a few examples which I was part of that really helped me as Mira and HealthyPath to grow and to really get the learnings and the mentorship I need. So for instance, one of the initiatives that is driven in the UAE is Dubai Business Women Council, and this is under the umbrella of the UAE Chamber of Commerce, and they have a mandate to really empower women in the UAE to equip them with the right skills, the right entrepreneurship skills, the right also communication skills to really basically help them get to their achievement and really help them basically in every single matter. So they created at the time, I was part of an accelerator program where they give you mentorship about every single aspect of opening a business and making it a success. So that was one of the, I would say, flagship initiatives that really helped me at the beginning of the company. But also when we look at the entrepreneurship ecosystem, since I work in the food sector or agri-food sector, so for instance, right now as part of the Ministry of Economy initiative, there's an initiative called the food cluster. And one of the work stream that is critical and that is under the umbrella and the leadership of Ministry of Economy is how to drive the SMEs or or the small medium enterprise business, to give them the right enablers, the right incentive, to see what are the challenges. So there's a lot being done in the UAE to really give the right environment for startups and for, you know, emerging businesses to have the right environment to succeed, and to really keep looking at what are the potential roadblocks that needs to be eliminated. So for that, I'm really thankful for the UAE for that.
We are grateful to be here, to live in the UAE.
We are really, it's I mean, if I look back at my time, again, when I started super, like, you know, at my early career, I would have never thought, you know, I would be where I am today. And it all goes, all the credit goes to the UAE. You know, the leadership, the visionary that they have, they make everything happen.
They give us many opportunities to succeed.
Yes. Yes, they make the impossible possible. Really, they make the impossible possible. Like, and that's why here you're always craving for the next step. We're all thirsty to be better, and that's not something easy to be done. It's very difficult to have that set of environment that can nudge you and help you and give you a catalyst to be a better person. The UAE gives you that environment, and I think this is why everyone wants to come to the UAE, wants to open their business, want to grow. It's a place of opportunities.
So how can you define success now?
So success for me has nothing to do with what you've achieved on a paper. It's a really mindset thinking, because you can look like you're the most successful person, but you don't feel you're enough. So it all goes back to basically, you know, feeling that you are enough and that you're successful and you've reached what you want. So for me, success is really mindset. It's less about accomplishing things on the paper. And for me, I got to a point where I feel I am successful, and it has, again, nothing to do with just the business. It's about feeling like I've developed myself. There has been a huge journey where I progressed on different levels, and that's for me success. It's self-development.
And what's your advice for the entrepreneurs are looking to enter this field, build a career in this field?
So I would say for all the young out there from health background, especially nutrition, global health policy, food sustainability, that don't shy away from trying different things. Sometimes you may start in one area. I think it's important you explore different sectors, different opportunities. Don't shy away from asking for advice from different mentors, different managers. This is the only way to really learn, explore, and know also where's your passion. So I would say for me, explore more than one sector and be curious. Curiosity is key in all of that. And keep learning and developing yourself.
And now we need to end this great episode with you by a message from you to the UAE rulers and governments through our camera, please.
So I would like to thank the leadership of the UAE for giving us a space to be innovative, to be creative, and to keep giving the best to the UAE. Without the leadership and the visionaries, that would not have happened. So I'm extremely thankful for the leadership, and I'm honored to be working in the UAE. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for all these informations, Miss. And thank you and best of luck.
Thank you, Ala. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Dear audience, we reach the end of our episode. Watch us next week, and goodbye.